Well, hello and welcome to my cooking class yet again. Oh my gosh, I can feel autumn is in the air. It is cooled down, honestly, in a day about 10 degrees. And you may see some construction or some stuff happening out my window. We're actually getting the irrigation lines sprayed out. This is a true sign that fall is in the air. And when I think about fall, I actually think we really need to be warming ourselves from the inside out. So I'm going to show you how fast you can put together a meal in literally minutes. Hey, Miss Joan. Good to see you all the way from the other side of the world. Anyway, what we're going to do today is we're going to do a Thai coconut soup. And I was reading the ingredients and the instructions, super easy because on the back of each package clearly identifies just one of the ways that you can make this meal. And it said unpeeled sweet potato. Okay, now, I don't know. I'm asking you, I know we've got a few people on, so make sure you post it. Do you eat the peel or not? I actually did a little bit of research, so post below, and I want to hear from you guys. So someone gave me a heart. They must be liking that they eat the peel. I actually don't. I don't eat the peel. So I thought we'd do a test today. Okay, Cindy says you do. Okay, so why do we eat the peel, or why don't we eat the peel? Well, aesthetically, I guess I always thought it looked nicer with the peel off. But you can actually eat the peel. Yeah, Joan says she likes it peeled. You can actually eat the peel. Just make sure you wash your sweet potato well. So I've washed this already. I'm going to give a little bit off because I asked my husband, who's definitely going to be eating this tonight, do you want peeled or unpeeled sweet potatoes? And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to eat the peel. But I want to show you what it looks like. So I'm just going to use our ceramic knife here, and we're going to get started right away. And I am just going to cut a little bit off with the skin still on. Of course, I'm going to clean it up a bit, take off that little end piece. And I'm going to just put this into bite-sized pieces, and I'm actually going to put it in our steamer, and we're going to just see what it looks like. I'm thinking that probably the steaming it is going to make the skin shrivel. And remember, people eat with their eyes. I don't know, are they gonna wanna eat it? Are they not gonna wanna eat it? Are they gonna pick around it? Tell me what you think. Yeah, more fiber. Cindy, 100%, that's why you would keep the peel on. So, I'm actually going to use our Y peeler. I love this. And it is, originally I had like a single, one that you peeled like this. I will tell you, it took me a little bit of time to fall in love with this. Honestly, peels like butter. I am not kidding. This is so slick, so sharp, so amazing. You're gonna wanna get it. And especially for the fall, because we've got butternut squash, we've got, oh gosh, all the root vegetables, carrots, parsnips, things that you may want to peel. How easy is that? This is the Y peeler. Put it on your I need it list. Now, you'll notice I've got flexible cutting boards. This is a great reason why. I still got another one underneath. I'm just gonna go to the garbage can and drop this in. Or if you have a recycle bin, a food compost area, that'd be perfect. And if you really want to eat it, I don't know, my husband's not gonna eat it if I put it in there, and it is his dinner. So anyway, what we're going to do is I'm just gonna use the ceramic knife here, and I'm just gonna cut this into bite-sized pieces because we're making a soup, and I don't like having big chunks in my soup that when I'm eating it hot is burning my mouth. So we're going to use our round steamer today. You could use the large multi-purpose steamer, and we're going to use just one sweet potato that we're going to chop up here. And this will feed, I believe this says it feeds a family of 4. Now, let's talk a little bit about that for a quick minute. How many times have you gone to the store and read the serving size on the back of packages? Mac and cheese is one that it's like, for real? You buy one of those craft dinner things and it says it'll feed a family of 4. Well, what are they, like little chicks? Because I think the serving size is, I don't know, it's pretty dang small. I just have a family of 4 and I never ever found that those dinners could feed a family of 4, unless maybe you were putting a nice salad, maybe some, I don't know, extra carbs on the side, there's something. Just notice I didn't take the end off there. Okay, so we've basically got this put in our steamer. Now, if you are adverse to using the oven, you can certainly boil this, but what I love about using our steamer is the fact that nothing else goes in here. All we've got in here is our sweet potatoes, and they're just going to cook in their own juices, because sweet potatoes are actually really good for magnesium and copper, and of course, if you leave the skin on, some extra fiber. But we're just going to steam this, boil it in water, and gosh, a lot of your nutrients and vitamins are just going to get washed away when you drain it. So this is why I love the steamer. It cooks in its own juices, and it only takes 6 minutes in the microwave. So let me pop that in right now. Okay, so let's get started with the rest. So we're gonna grab this is our Thai coconut soup, and it says dice 1 large sweet potato into small cubes. It's gonna roughly amount to about 2 cups. Place it in the steamer, cook it, and now in a wok, well, clearly this is not my wok. I wanted to make it in our saute pan. I love this pan. It's induction friendly. I have an induction stove. This is my go-to. You can see it's got a nice, and I've used this lots, but look at how clean that looks. It's got a non-stick coating in here. It's got a handle that can actually go into the oven. So if you wanted to finish something off, I highly recommend that you grab that. It's delicious. Fabulous, I should say. I'm talking about this. And I saw someone say yum. Someone says who's got the saute pan? Do you love it? Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so it says that we're going to take this package, we're going to dump it in our wok or saute pan or any large pan you have. Hi Laura, nice to see you. And we're going to add a couple cups of hot water. I didn't heat my water because it's not going to take me long. I am going to grab one of my little whisks. And here, just so you know, quite often whenever I'm doing sauces or liquids and getting things started, I tend to just want to put a little bit of liquid in there first, because I want to make sure that there's no bumps or lumps. This is really good for when you're doing gravy as well. Anyway, I like just giving it a good mix to make sure that I've not got any clumps that are going to sit there. Okay, so let's get our stove going. Get this heated up. This induction thing is so fast. Okay, so now that I've got basically the sauce all mixed in here, I'm going to add the remaining liquid. And we're going to heat this up. Now, while that's heated up, this is how quickly it comes together. It literally says you are going to put the seasoning with 2 cups of hot water and a can of coconut milk. We're going to talk about that. We're going to cover it and bring it to a boil. Okay, let's talk about coconut milk. There's so many varieties in the grocery store. A lot of varieties. So you can get thicker, you can get light. Most of our recipes will say light coconut milk. Coconut milk is full of fiber. It's not naturally produced. It's actually man-made in terms of how they make it. I mean, it does come from a coconut. Coconut milk that you're seeing me use right now, this is actually made by having coconuts that are mature. These are the brown ones that you see. that have fallen off the tree. And basically they take the white flesh, they process it, they steam it, they cook it up, and then they strain it, and then they add a little bit of extra liquid in, and that's going to determine whether it is thick or thin, light or full fat, right? Just by how much liquid they have. Now, coconut milk that you would use in a sauce like this has usually about 50% liquids. So now if you're going to the store and you're going, oh my gosh, what do I buy? And you're thinking coconut water, totally different animal. Don't do it. You would not do that for this. Coconut water is actually produced in the coconut. There is no processing to it whatsoever. This is made with immature green coconuts. Okay, and the immature green coconuts have liquid inside it, and they just pour that out. That is your coconut water. So big difference. I know I've done a few cooking classes in people's homes, and when they ask me what kind of, do you get coconut milk or coconut water? Yeah, mostly milk. Water is just for drinking. Okay, all right, so we've got this heating up. Now it says we've got to get some veggies ready. And so we've got our sweet potato, it's almost done. We're going to put in some veggies, whatever you have in your kitchen, although if you're following the directions, it actually asks for mushrooms. Now, let's talk about mushrooms. Okay, how do you buy mushrooms? Do you buy mushrooms whole? Do you buy them in a package? Do you buy them sliced? Okay, experts say to buy mushrooms, you should buy them whole. And look for ones that have really big caps. Okay, the bigger the cap, the better. You don't want all stems. And you can clearly do this yourself, slice them yourself. Now, let's talk a little bit about whether you wash them or not, because that's always been a discussion. Okay, and I'm seeing Jackie says not all coconut tins are the same. Yeah, go read the labels. Thank you for that, Jackie. And I see that you're traveling abroad. I think she's crossed the American border, having fun, freelancing. Anyway, we've got our mushrooms here. Anyway, so what we do with our mushrooms is you actually, when you buy a mushroom, here's your tip. When you buy a mushroom, just so you know, mushrooms have about 80% liquid on it, okay? So some people say, well, do you wash them or not? If they're sliced, you do not wash them. Hopefully that process has already been done. Somehow they've been cleaned, okay? So if you buy sliced mushrooms, do not wash them, because once you slice them, it opens it up. It's sort of like a sponge, and it will absorb water. If you're having whole mushrooms, yes, you can wash them. If it's almost 80% liquid anyway, and especially if you're doing a soup, yeah, it's not gonna absorb like a whole bunch of water. It's almost totally saturated already. So there's your tip. Now, the other thing is, how do you clean them? And I sort of had mentioned it. Wash them off if they're whole. If you're actually going to eat these raw in a salad, for example, just brush them off. So go to the grocery store, buy a clean toothbrush, and just dust off this, because once you put this to water, it will discolor your mushrooms, and you don't want discolored mushrooms. When you're purchasing mushrooms, not only should you buy them whole, but the other thing you should do is you should make sure that they're not slimy. They should sort of have a, what will I say, a little bit of moisture feel to them. They should be springy when you touch them, not squishy, okay? And if they're slimy and they smell, walk away and find something else. In fact, this recipe, you don't even need to add mushrooms to it. Find something else, okay? You don't want to put slimy mushrooms in your soup. You don't want to cook with it. It's already starting to go bad, okay? All right, so it says that we've got this heated, bring to a boil, reduce heat to simmer, prep my veggies. Well, clearly I'm talking too long, but I'm going to throw my mushrooms in here. I actually went to the farmer's market and I got all these little peppers. And this one's just was so awkward. I just thought, oh no, it's not gonna look nice. It's got a little bit of red, a little bit of green, and I thought, you know what, why not just throw this in? Why not? Like I said, if you can't find mushrooms, you could totally make this dish with just what you got in the fridge, really. You know me, I'm on a mission, never throw food away. So I'll just add that pepper to it. Could be a red or green pepper. When it comes to cooking, there's a lot of liberties that you can take because it's not like baking, which is probably why I'm not a good baker. When you bake, it's a science experiment. You have to follow instructions. Cooking, you can get comfortable with just throwing things in. I mean, how bad could it be by switching out your mushrooms to peppers or cauliflower or, I don't know, green beans, peas, carrots? I don't know, doesn't really matter. Okay, bok choy. I love bok choy. What I've done with this is I've rinsed it and I had it drained and straining in our flexible collapsible steamer. I love this because it's really handy. Jackie, I know you're in an RV. No big strainer to deal with. And actually, if something hot came off the stove, you can actually use it like a little trivet. That's what I love about Epicure. It's so versatile. Okay, so yes, there is the collapsible steamer. And we're just gonna do a rough chop on this. Cut off the ends. Make sure that they're nice and clean. I actually did this a little bit before. But I like if you cut off the ends, it makes it a little bit easier. And I do this a lot with my romaine lettuce, is I slice it lengthwise and then coarsely chop it. You're gonna want to roughly get about 2 cups. But again, you're cooking. It's not a science experiment like baking. If you have a little bit too much or a little bit less, it's not going to mean the end of the world. It might just make your meal go a little bit further or a little not so far. I err on the side of putting more in than not, because with Epicure you could cook once and eat twice. Love that as well. Okay, and again, just a rough chop. I'm going to stir this up. Now, the recipe actually says, and this could have been with tofu. The only tofu I had in my fridge right now is extra firm, and I sort of thought tomorrow, because I menu plan with my Epicure meal solutions, tomorrow I was going to do a General Tao with tofu. I love General Tao with tofu. So instead of putting my tofu in this, and then I don't have General Tao with tofu, I thought I'd just use shrimp, and I just went into my little freezer to see what I had, and the only shrimp I had in there was already cooked. So you could use cooked or uncooked. It's just going to matter on how long you keep it in your soup now, right? So this is just going to cook up a little bit. I need to make sure that my red peppers, that's the only thing that's really in here that needs to have a little bit of heat to it, because I want my peppers to be softened. And it will soften quickly because it's in hot soup. So doesn't that look good already? Yum. Okay, so once this is heated, and I'm just gonna grab a spoon, let me do a taste test. Oh my gosh, yum. Okay, it's hot, it's good. I'm just gonna throw in roughly about 1.5 cups of, it could be chicken, it could be shrimp, it could be, with your shrimp, it could be raw or cooked. Of course, chicken, you can put it in here raw, it's gonna cook it up. If you had leftovers from Thanksgiving, you could totally do turkey in here instead. You could totally eliminate that, although I would recommend that somehow you get some protein into your meal, because that's important to sustain our healthy bodies. And last but not least, we're gonna get the sweet potato out, and we're gonna squeeze a fresh lime. So let me do this quickly. I've washed my lime. We only need the juice from half, and it should tell you, the easiest way to get the juice out of your lime is to roll it. You're breaking up the fibers, then use your ceramic knife, and you're gonna get your 2-in-1 citrus press. Of course, this is a lime. This one's quite big, but if it was too big, you know what? Break the rules. Throw it in the lemon size. Okay, this one actually fits. I didn't think it would. So I'm going to be using that in a quick second. Let me go get the sweet potatoes. Okay, so here's the sweet potatoes. Remember, I did a little test on sweet potatoes with the skin on and with the skin off. Here you go. It didn't actually shrivel up. I thought it would. I'm tasting it. Yeah, you can chew it. It gives you a little bit more of a mouth chew. But yeah, so you can decide how much time do you have to make for dinner? Do you need to actually peel it? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so that was one potato, peeled and cubed. I bet you my husband doesn't even notice. Don't tell him. If you see him, don't tell him. And we're just gonna stir this up and heat this up a little bit. I'm gonna watch to see if when I've added the sweet potatoes in, if the skin actually falls away from the flesh of that sweet potato. And that sweet potato is already heated up, so it really doesn't need much. I'm just gonna turn down the heat now so it just simmers, and squeeze my fresh lime in. Beautiful. This, when you put the lime in, it's like adding a little bit of extra salt. It just enhances the flavor. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to give you for fun food facts, because seriously, that was done in like a heartbeat. If you buy extra mushrooms, okay, so I already talked about buying whole mushrooms because it's better. Make sure that they have a little bit of a moisture feel, but not slimy. You can smell them, make sure they don't smell fishy or anything. That's the best way to get your mushrooms. If you buy extra and you want to store them, I know when you go to the grocery store, they always supply brown paper bags to put your mushrooms in. I don't know if you know this, but you actually shouldn't store them in brown bags because they will dry up and shrivel. So here's how you're going to store extra if you get them on sale and you wanted to lengthen the time to use them. You're going to put them in a Ziploc bag, but don't seal it. You want to make sure that the top is flared open. That will allow it to breathe, because mushrooms actually release ethylene gas. Okay, and you want to make sure that the air is circulating through there. So old wise tale, thinking that you need to keep your mushrooms in brown paper bags, yeah, not the best solution. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's cooking class. All you need to do now is just literally plate this and it is ready to rumble. So what do you think? Doesn't that look delicious? So Thai coconut soup is available in packages of 3. It's very inexpensive. Price point, I bought mushrooms, I bought bok choy, I have the sweet potato in my cupboard. I don't know, you could probably feed the family with this, with the shrimp and everything. I'm probably thinking this whole meal maybe cost me 15 bucks. Oh, with the can of coconut milk. Okay, $20. $20, so probably feeds a family of 4 for $5. Good deal, right? Hey, Cam, good to see you. I'm going to call you right away. Anyway, thanks for coming to my cooking class, guys. Remember, Thai coconut soup. It is delicious, and when it's getting colder outside, might be the perfect thing to make you feel super, super warm and snuggly. Take care, and we'll see you again next Thursday. Bye for now.